Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eclectic Knitter podcast. My name, of course, is Raylene. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry, or Ravelry and Instagram, as Kamana Knits. I will try to put that down below if I can. I don't know. Then maybe I won't have to say it. Anyway, it is October 28th. It's a Saturday. It's 5:23 p.m. Over here in Saskatoon, which is where I live. I'm trying to figure out how to turn off my monitor. I don't think I've ever turned off this monitor before, because then I won't have as much glare, but we may have to deal with it. On today's episode, excuse me, I just ate, so there will be, what will there be? Bye, Cyrus. Finished objects. There will be whips. There will be stuff and things. I'm not quite sure what there will all be. Anyway, as you can see, I have new hair. I just got back from the hairdresser. And my hairdresser is awesome, and her name is Paige, and if you are in Saskatoon, she's at the Lemon Tree. So, finished objects. First thing, this is a mostly finished object, and I'm going to show it to you because I'm not sure when the heels will go in. So I finished my pair of Nomadic yarns. It's not rocket science, self-striping colorway socks. 2 of them. 1, 2. They do not have heels. I was going to put in heels, and then I stole the needles, and I only have one pair of size 1 2.25 millimeter tips. And I don't have any fixed circulars in 2.25 millimeter. So the heel and toe I'm using is this mini skein from, I think it's from Blissful Knits. It's out of one of those packages right there, or I think it's out of that rainbow package right there. The teal was on the end after the green. Anyway, it worked out nicely, even though the base isn't quite the same. Slight color variation that you can really only see on camera right here. So yeah, that was a fun knit. I like knitting self-striping socks. Contrast heels and toes are kind of my thing right now. I bought all these minis to do it, so better do it. The next thing is a spinning finish object. This has been washed. This is my created by LCB Winter's Eve Corriedale. This is a bulky 3-ply, which is what I was going for. Mostly grays, and then there's these dark purples, and there's some taupey browns. It's really nice. I don't have much for singles left over, but this is only about 88 yards of a 3-ply out of 3.7 ounces or something, out of 4 ounces from the braid. So because it's a 3-ply, there's obviously not as much yardage as a 2-ply or single. I'm not very good at doing this, so we are going to show off how bad we are at doing this, because that's what we do on podcasts, right? So show each other how bad we are at things that we don't do very often. So yes, this is my created by LCB, and I actually realized last week that I had the tag for it. So this is her tag, her business card. And then she does it on the back like this. So you can see it's Corriedale, it's repeatable, it's the Winter's Eve colorway. So yeah, that's that. Those are my finished objects. Yay! Whips. I have one whip to show that you've seen before. Sorry, I have bags falling. And so we will show it first. This is my Leaves of Grass pie shawl. I actually need to rip back a row because I'm a dum-dum and decided I knew better than the pattern and did a straight stockinette row after the last patterned row, only to look at the chart and realize that there was no rest row in between some of the patterned rows in chart D, which is where I'm at. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, we need to. So there's about 600, well, just under, like, there's almost 600 stitches on the needles right now, and I have not increased this from a 24-inch neat cable. So let's see if we can find chart A. This is going to be not the greatest. Chart B is this. I am not showing this very well. I'm very scared of ripping it off the needles, so I'm really sorry. Chart B is that. These. Chart C is that. There goes my stitch marker for the beginning of the round. See, this is why. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is not good. I'm sorry, I can't show this anymore. It's fallen off. I've lost stitches and I need to fix it. So we're just going to shove it down on my needles. This is out of Woolmiza lace garn in a weird different blue colorway that I picked up from their website. This is what it looks like in the giant skein that's bigger than my head. And it is in a fat squirrel fiber bag. This is a present for my mom for her birthday, which is December 1st. So I need to have it done in time. I'm going to Manitoba, hi Cyrus, for a week in November to visit and see my new nephew who was born over Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. I either need to have it done before then, and done and blocked before then so I can leave it there for her birthday. Or I have to have it done like a week prior to block it and then mail it. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to turn out. So chart D, you repeat part of it once and then the full chart a second time. And then it's just the knitted on border. So we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to work on it quite a bit. Cyrus, what? He's pushing my hand down and being a brat. He already got fed, so I don't know what his problem is. The second thing on my needles that has gotten quite a bit of work. This is a skein. This is a pair of socks. The yarn is Lavender Loon. This is Cyrus. This is one of her Halloween colorways, Drink for Me and Live Forever. It's based on, or it's inspired by Interview with the Vampire, which is like my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, and like one of my favorite books. So it's got me double there. So this arrived. What? Can you leave it there? Seriously? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Come here then. Come on. Come on. There you go, good boy. Come on. All the way. Come on. I don't just want toes. He's giving me toes. Come on. Other leg. Other leg. Come on. There you go. That's my ear. That's also my ear that you just smelled because you're an ass. My dog is an ass. Hi, honey. My hair smells different, I guess. Go figure. Hi. You on the podcast? Yeah. No, you're looking out the window. That's the window. Yes, that is a window. Hi. Yes, I know. I know. I know. You has a hard life, right? Super hard life. Mommy has to talk about her knitting now. No, you can't smell it. Hey! Hi. Ah! You're a brat. That's still my ear. I don't know what you want. Okay, so Anyway, we're going to try, I guess, to record with a co-host today. So this is the yarn. I got it on Thursday, I think. Oh, dog. You're crazy pants. Did you know that? Okay. Yeah, you go do something. Chew on your antler or something. This is it caked up. Why is that not focusing? Focus. Come on, camera. Oh, he's crawling underneath the... Okay. I can't get it to focus. Anyway, as soon as I got it, I caked it up. And it came with, oh, this is the sock. So I'm over half done the sock. It came with this Vampire Teeth Progress Keeper. This is how it's knitting up. I did a contrasting heel. The yarn that I used for this was a Boss Lady Yarns purple mini that I got in a set that I purchased a little while ago. It's a lot more of a reddish purple. And I thought it went well with this colorway. It's actually the same base, which is nice. So yeah, this has been getting a lot of my love. I guess I'm doing Halloween socks, I suppose. This is a Fish Lips Kiss heel. These are US size 1s. That's 2.25 millimeter. This is where my needles went that I can't do the heels on those other socks. So, this is Living in a Fat Squirrel Fiber National Parks bag. Also, Fat Squirrel had a really big update yesterday. Cyrus, what do you want? Go lie down. Go lie down. Thank you. No, that doesn't mean come to the other side. That means go lie down. Go. Fine, you can sit there, but you don't bug me. This is the... Fat Squirrel Fiber had a really big update last night because she was at Needles Up last weekend and she hadn't had an update for a while. The third work in progress that I have to show is something that I am finally admitting that I'm working on. This is my worsted boxy in the Clap Your Hands colorway. This is Madeline Tosh Pashmina worsted, which is a discontinued base. And when I found out it was discontinued, I bought 2 sweater quantities of it. 4 worsted boxies. This is the Clap Your Hands colorway. As I stated, I don't have tags. This is how far I am. Last time I recorded, I think I had a few rows of ribbing. The time before that I recorded, all I had was a cast on. So this has already used up 1 skein, 1 full skein, because I did the 2 swatches out of that skein. So I am knitting this on size 10s. That's what my swatch gauge gave me. I did 2 swatches. I did one on a US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter, maybe. And then I did a swatch on a 10, which is a 6.0 millimeter, which is what these are. Because that's what I got gauge on, or at least close to gauge. So then the ribbing I did on a smaller needle. So I did the ribbing on 8s, and you're only supposed to do 4 rows of ribbing, and I think I at least doubled that. Which is working out because as it's sitting here, you can see that the edge isn't flipping. And I know that Amy from Stranded had a lot of problems with her bottom hem flipping up because the ribbing wasn't enough to stop the stockinette from trying to roll, which is why I did this. I figured instead of doing it to pattern and then going back and re-knitting it as she did, I would kind of try to get away from that and fix it at the beginning. So yeah, it's nice to knit on. It goes quite fast. It's got a couple inches on it. So those are all my works in progress that I've actually been working on. Go figure. I do have a new spinning work in progress. I started spinning on a loop bump, and I do not remember what the colorway is for my loop bump that I'm spinning. It's a, I don't even know, I don't even know what the fiber content is. I think it's a merino bamboo silk. That's what I want to say. I do not have it in my stash on Ravelry either. I haven't been updating fiber as it comes in, basically, which is good and bad, I guess. I am planning on, I think I'm going to keep it as a single. It's a little bit thick and thin. I think it's at about a fingering weight right now. Loop. It's the playground. It's her playground colorway. So it started off with this really nice teal, sea foamy, aqua-y blue, kind of like Tiffany blue, I guess. So it's merino, bamboo, and silk. Yeah. So this is the first time I'm spinning a silk blend, and it's the first time I'm spinning something with bamboo. It is very nice. I'm finding, I've been rewatching Squirrel Pie, or I've been watching Squirrel Pie Productions podcast from the start. And very early on in her podcast, I think this was about a year ago, she spun a loop bump as a single and knit the, let's hear it for the Grocery Girls from Hohi Locatelli, I think she knit with it. And she talked about how, because of the way the fiber is put into this center pull bump, it feels like it's pre-drafted, and she doesn't like pre-drafting. I've never pre-drafted, and this is the first time working with that method of fiber prep. And she said that she found that it was giving her a more uneven single because she was having problems. It was just with the way it is. And I'm finding kind of the same thing. I'm finding it hard to draft evenly. I'm also finding that when I pull it out of the bump, I'm finding a lot of thin spots that are breaking. And that just could be because of how I've moved it around, or I don't know. At one point it seemed like it was caught up in itself, like that it hadn't been wound into that bump evenly, or something had gotten messed up, so I actually had to pull out a schwack of it and unravel it almost. And that could partially be the fiber content. The bamboo and silk is really slippery, and merino is a shorter staple fiber than I've spun recently. But all of these things are leading to a single that isn't super consistent, which is fine. But it is like a light fingering or lace to fingering weight, I think. Maybe sport in some areas. But I think I'm going to try to, and I don't know how to spin low twist. I actually figured out, I was trying to find out if there were bigger whorls for I have an Ashford Kiwi 2. I was searching online and trying to find out if there were bigger whorls, because a bigger whorl means that it's putting less twist in. It's the what's it called? The thing that has the hook and the orifice and the bobbin, the flyer. The bigger your whorl is, the less often your flyer spins for every time your wheel turns. So I found out that I'd had my drive band. It's a single drive. So the drive band goes around the whorl and then it goes around the wheel, which is underneath. And the wheel has 2 grooves and the flyer has 2 grooves. Now, one of the grooves on the flyer is a lot smaller. It's smaller in circumference than the bigger groove on the flyer. So I've had it on the bigger groove on the flyer, and then the wheel has a smaller and a bigger groove as well. So I've had it on the bigger, wider groove, I guess is how I should say it. I don't know if it's bigger. And then on the bigger whirl, and apparently for this wheel goes, I think 5-to-1 is the slowest ratio for the Kiwi 2. And I wasn't doing, it either does 5-to-1 or 7-to-1. So 7-to-1 is on the wider wheel and then the smaller on the whirl. And then there's a high-speed adapter kit, which I did buy, but I haven't used. Because even on the lowest, it feels like it's going too fast. Still feels like it's going too fast. So I moved the drive band on the wheel to what looks like a narrower groove. So I am now actually doing a 5-to-1 ratio for my twist. And I know I bought the book Yarnitecture, I think, for spinning, and it's about how to spin the yarn that you want to knit. And so they talk about for finer weight yarns, you want to put more twist into it to hold the fewer fibers that there are in what you're drafting together. So they talked about slow hands, fast feet. So you want to make your wheel spin faster, but you want to draft slower, which allows more twist to go into the fiber that you're drafting. Now, if you want to do bulky yarn, doesn't need as much twist because there's so many more fibers to hold it together because you're drafting so much more. So then you want to do slow feet and fast. So you want to draft faster, which puts the yarn on your bobbin faster, but doesn't give it as much time to build up twist going through your orifice. I think I have that right. So if I want a low twist fingering weight single, I should spin it on a lower ratio with fast hands and slow feet. I played piano for like 20 years and I'm struggling with moving my hands and my feet at different rates, basically. So I treadle at a certain rate and then my hands want to move at a certain rate. I guess because it's the rhythm of it. Like there's a particular beat to it. So my fingers want to move at the same rate, the same kind of beat that my feet are making. But I'm trying, but I don't. Like some thicker spots maybe don't have as much twist as some of the thinner spots, because the thinner spots, like when I release tension on the yarn, the stuff that's going to the bobbin, the thinner spots want to twist up on themselves and almost ply, and the thicker parts don't. Now I'm hoping that letting it, like after I finish spinning it, letting it sit and then washing it will help that. But I don't really know. Also, there was something else. I pulled out a set, like I stopped drafting and stopped my wheel and like let a piece ply back on itself. And I wish I was able to 2-ply what I'm doing. And I was originally thinking about chain plying it, but it's 6 ounces in the bump, and I would really like to knit a shawl out of it, and keep the gradient together. So my choices at this point are to either leave it as a single or chain ply it. And with the weight that I'm getting out of the single, I feel like a chain ply is going to be too heavy for what I want to use it for. So there's that. That's my spinning, and that's maybe more technical than I usually get into. But that's okay. I'm learning, right? It's a learning experience. That is what I'm learning. I'm thinking about bringing my wheel to my parents with me. So that'll be cool. Let's see. Other things, just gonna grab a drink. It's not Mountain Dew, it's 7-Up from Taco Bell, which Saskatoon didn't have until about like 5 months ago. Actually, all of Saskatchewan didn't have a Taco Bell until about 5 months ago. And now we're getting a second one closer to my place. So that is both a blessing and a curse, really. Favorite things. Okay, yeah, I was kind of thinking about things and then didn't think about things and didn't bring anything. So there's nothing to show. It's just going to kind of be me talking. Oh, I'll show these. I ordered these greeting cards from Little Skein and the Big Wool because a true friend holds your yarn when your sweater is unraveling. It's Winnie the Pooh, and then they're just blank on the inside. And then there's a Charlotte's Web inspired one, and Anne of Green Gables, and Pippi Longstocking. So there's all these little cards. Looking forward to things is half their pleasure. You are bolder and braver than you know. Here's a Mary Poppins one. And Beauty and the Beast. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty. And then Little House on the Prairie. So I bought this pack of cards from them, and I really like them. They're very cute. I also worked on reorganizing my stash this weekend. So these two bins right here are new. This bin up here, my lace weight was in that bin there. So I moved my lace weight into a bigger bin, and then I moved all my scraps from a really small bin into the bigger bin, the slightly larger bin that the lace weight had been in. And then the small bin is now holding, I think it's holding sweater quantities. So I've kind of, oh, that's the wrong way. Oh, dog. So I've kind of cleaned up the shit show that was on the floor to some extent. And then in these, I basically pulled out almost everything out of them and then reorganized it by vendor, kind of. And so, like, this one here, this first one here is all my socks that rock, and it's not full, and I haven't put anything else in there. And then I've labeled it. I have these little, oh, they're on the floor. Excuse my reaching. So I have these, I bought these from Chapters ages ago. Songbird sticky notes, so there's a variety of different sizes of sticky note. And then these little flippy tags. So I've been taking these square ones, writing the vendors on them, and then taping them with packaging tape to the front here, so you can kind of see here. So this one has 4 vendors in it, because I don't have a lot from any of them. And then this one's all Ethereal Fiber Arts. I haven't done that to any of the other. I have one down there for Miss Babs. I have one for Gail's Art Sock Blanks. Down the second one from the end at the bottom, that's all Long Dog Yarns. I have one there for Spun Right Round. The one there is half Hedgehog Fibers and half something else. I've got half Tanis Fiber Arts and half Sweet Georgia. And then I have 2 that are just odds and ends, because I have a couple vendors that I've only bought like maybe 1 to 3 skeins from. So those just have all gone kind of in 1 or 2 bins. And then the 2 at the ends here are still self-striping. So this is self-striping of various vendors. And then this one is Nomadic Skeins, because the Nomadic Gobstopper balls are in there. And then Query Fiber Arts also is taking up part of that one. So that's good. And then I ordered a cube bookshelf that's like on just less than 17 inches wide and like 87 inches high. And that's for in the living room. I have a corner between my bookcase and a little wall that comes out to separate the kitchen dining room from the living room. And it's an 18 inches between that bookcase and the wall. So I found a narrow, tall, bookcase basically that I can put in there that I'm going to then use because I have fiber piled up in that corner, kind of like I have fiber piled up there in that corner on the floor here beside me, right behind my elbow. That's all fiber mostly. So once I get that, I'm going to set it up in that corner, and then I'm going to organize the fiber a little bit better so I can just pull from there when I want to spin. And I'm going to try to move as much of this fiber into there as I can. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these minis though. I don't know. I need to stop buying yarn. I placed an order from Moonstone Dye Works, which is Squirrel Pie Productions, her hand-dyed yarn. And then last night I caught a Woolen Vine update, which is Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast, and bought a couple more skeins of her stuff. And I think I have 3 skeins or something already. But I'm done. I'm not ordering anymore. I have lots of yarn, too much yarn, lots of fiber, too much fiber. I can't keep up as it is, and I need to stop buying. I do. So I'm going to stop buying. No, I need to stop buying. That's just all there is to it. I need to stop. I have to stop. And knit some of the stuff down. I've actually been looking at buying one of those circular sock knitting machines, just to try to get down, because I mean, practically these 2 entire cabinets are fingering weight, basically. I buy stock yarn. That's most of what I buy. Sweater quantities I will buy in other weights. But pretty much everything is sock yarn. I have some sweater quantities of sock yarn for sure, or fingering weight, but the majority of, and I have some like 2 skeins, and I have a lot of work sock in 2 skeins, which is 800 yards of sport. So yeah, I'm not sure. I need to stop buying yarn. I have yarn coming, which is, I don't know where I'm going to put that, but whatever. Music. I love music. As I said, I played piano for 20 years. And when I was in high school, music is probably what my parents and I thought about the most. Because they're very Christian and I don't listen to Christian music. So some bands that I've been listening to recently, Red recently released a new album like 2 days ago. And it's pretty good. It's called Gone, I think. There's a couple good songs off of there. Starset is very, very good. They're a band out of Texas, and they've kind of got a space theme. And it's not that their songs are about space. They do include more... It's all rock, by the way. So if you don't like rock, then it's maybe not your thing. Starset, their albums you can listen to start to finish, and all the songs kind of just blend, like they move into each other. There's not a real solid break after each song, which I really like. And the lead singer is like a rocket scientist or something, and now he's doing music. I think that's how it goes. I could be completely wrong about this. This is what I can remember. And I know that during their sets, their drummer sits in this box, and his drumming is what controls a computer that's set up to do certain pictures or lights or videos or whatever on his box or on screens or something. So it's a very much experiential kind of show. But the music's really, really good. So right now, the song that I really like from them is called Unbecoming. It's off their latest album. Their first album is really good too. Carnivore, My Demons are both really good songs off of their first album. I've also been listening to The Palisades, and some songs off of their album that are really good are Fall, Let Down, Better Chemicals. Yeah, those are probably my 3 favorites. And then A Perfect Circle released a new song for the first time in like forever, and that's from Maynard, the guy who does Tool. And that song's called The Doomed. It's really good. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been listening to music-wise. I listen to a lot of music in the car. I have a Sirius subscription just for Octane, just for access to Octane, and I barely even listen to it these days. And it just renewed for another 6 months, I think. I should have canceled that, but whatever. It is what it is. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Work is busy. Work is always busy, it feels. So yeah, that is about everything. A little bit longer show this time than I think the last couple times. I'm hoping to continue to record every week. If you have been watching for a while, thank you so much for coming back. I'm sorry if the lighting's a little off. It's already almost dark outside. And it's like 6 o'clock. But yeah, if you're a new viewer, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I do hope you come back. There is a Ravelry group. Episodes are on YouTube and on iTunes. I have no idea what the subscription numbers for iTunes. iTunes does not provide statistics for their podcasts. And there's not enough reviews to show the reviews. So if you watch it on iTunes and like it, leave a review so I know you're there. Otherwise, it is an extra step to upload it to iTunes. I have to upload it to a different site as opposed to just uploading it to YouTube and putting a link in the blog. But that's fine. So yeah, I will talk to you guys hopefully in about a week, and I hope you enjoy what you're knitting, and I'll see you later. Bye.